Hi everyone, Sokoda here. Some of you might remember that I did a Bionicle LEGO Ideas project a while ago. And while that didn't really work out the way we wanted it to, I still think LEGO Ideas is a really cool opportunity and just a good way for LEGO fans to express their interest in different set ideas or themes. Today I want to show some other Bionicle projects that are on LEGO Ideas right now. I picked 5 different Bionicle projects with very different concepts and ideas behind them, because I personally think the concept and idea are the most important part for every LEGO Ideas project. I want to share these and explain what I like about them, maybe speculate a bit about their feasibility, and just hopefully get them some more supporters. If you haven't heard about it before, LEGO Ideas is basically a website where you can suggest sets to LEGO. Once a project on there gets 10,000 supporters, it goes into a review and LEGO might make it a real set. Making an account on there is free, and you probably already have one if you ever got a LEGO set at shop at home. You can support all the projects I'm talking about in this video right now. I'm personally supporting all of them, it's not a direct competition in any way. The links for the projects are in the description, and I just recommend supporting the project you like the idea of, because it helps a fellow community member and it shows interest in a legitimate way to LEGO. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the projects. The first project I want to talk about is the Great Spirit Robot Bionicle 20th Anniversary by Axelford. While this probably won't be out in time for the 20th anniversary, this model would still absolutely be a dream come true for so many Bionicle fans. And it's already at over 7,000 supporters at the time of this recording, so it's very close to reaching the goal. The model is a giant brick-built version of the Great Spirit Robot. Something we never got as a set, and something that would be just a great representation of Bionicle as a theme. The concept of building the Great Spirit Robot also lends itself very well to a system build, which most LEGO Ideas sets would have to be. And it's still an articulated figure, which is really cool. I'd imagine a set like that could be a bit like the Voltron Ideas set or other big mechs from Ninjago or Monkey Kid. And still something Bionicle related while it's a system set, which I think is awesome. Axelford also made some updates to the project involving an improved face build, which I really love, and a little plaque he added, which a lot of big LEGO models have nowadays. My overall thoughts for the model are that I think this is definitely something for people who like big brick build figures like mech sets. This would definitely have to be a really big set. I think the original submission has 2,050 pieces, so I think that gives you a good hint at how big this set would have to be. It doesn't really rely on any outdated molds or new pieces, which is great for an idea set. It only uses the Kanohi How for the plaque, but that's not really integral to the mock in any way. So I could totally see LEGO doing something like that, maybe with some minor changes like a bit less articulation. We know a lot of big mech sets don't have knee articulation. But I think overall the concept of this project is really good, and I really hope we can push it to that 10,000 supporter goal. Our next project is Bionicle TOA Head Statue by yannickbuildsthings. It's already at 3,600 supporters at the time of this recording, and it's very much a display piece, I'd say. The model is a big brick-built version of the TOA Mata head piece, and I'd say it's a very spot-on recreation of the piece, and it's immediately recognizable for Bionicle fans. As I said, I'd say it's very similar to the current LEGO Star Wars helmet sets, or like the Venom bust set. And according to the creator, it's also similar in size to these sets, and with around 597 pieces, a similar piece count too. This set is definitely more of a display piece, but I think it would look really cool on a shelf or on a desk, and it's just a very cool recreation of just some Bionicle iconography. The stand also has a lot of little references for Bionicle fans, especially referencing like the early years of Bionicle. It has the little Usul crab, the Matanui Makuta stone, 2 gears, and a Kanohi How. Overall, I think this is a fantastic recreation of the piece, and it's very recognizable, so it's very good at what it's trying to be. This would very much be like a modern 18+ LEGO sets, as I mentioned before with the helmet. And I think that would work well for LEGO Ideas, since most LEGO Ideas sets nowadays are 18+ sets. Besides the Kanohi How, all the pieces should be in the current parts catalog, and according to the creator, it also doesn't have a lot of recolors, which is great. So overall, this project just seems very plausible to me, while also looking fantastic. Our next project depicts the very beginning of Bionicle. It's called BIONICLE Toatahu Awakens by Wadapan. The project currently has 3,000 supporters and is a recreation of Tahu's Awakening on the beach of Matanui. The set itself is a system recreation of the classic Tahu Mata set, and additionally there's a little beach scenery and a brick-built canister. The Tahu model in this project has a lot of articulation, even more than the original set. And while it's brick-built, I think it's the closest thing we can get nowadays to a construction set. The model has 400 pieces, so it isn't too big of a set either. And I personally just like a lot of the ideas put into this project. For example, the canister you can put the pieces for Tahu in, or that you can easily make Tahu Nuva by adding some extra pieces. The creator has also made 2 updates for important milestones of the project. One of them even shows how Lewa could look like in this style, even though he's not intended to be in the set. I just overall think that the creator put a lot of thought into this project, especially into things like feasibility too, which is the reason why they use grey mixel joints, for example. I think Tahu is probably the most iconic Bionicle character ever, so the source material this project is based on is very recognizable, I'd say. It's also really cool that the set has an action figure or a posable figure, which most of the construction Bionicle sets had. Some things on the model look a bit fragile to me, but the creator already said in one of their updates that they already experimented with some alternative builds for more stability. So it's great to hear that the creator has already thought of that. Overall, I just think this is a fantastic project as well. This one is probably the closest to the old Bionicle sets we could get nowadays, and I hope you all like it too. The 4th project I want to show is The Ancient Temple by rr.raelis. It currently has over 600 supporters and it depicts the Kini Nui with brick-built versions of the Toa Mata and Wakama. The main build of the project is the Kini Nui structure. According to the description, the creator wanted to capture the atmospheric Bionicle magic, and I especially think the Kini Nui build itself very much conveys the atmosphere of the early years of Bionicle. There is no concrete piece count given in the description, but I think it looks like quite the large structure, so it definitely would be a bigger set. The Kini Nui also has some hidden details like a golden Kanoe Hau in the middle and an Amaya circle as a side build. The brick built Toa have a very fun build, but I think with small builds like that, the hardest part to get right is always the masks, which are done with printing in this project, which is a good idea, but I think there's some room for improvement. Wakama is completely brick built and I think he looks very cute. For me personally, the set would already work very well if it was just the Kini Nui as a cool structure to display. The brick-built Toa are a lot of fun, but I think at that scale the masks are really hard to get right, especially without any new molds, and I wouldn't really know how to make it any better. So printing is definitely a smart way to do it for the Ideas project. Would be cool if LEGO would do some new molds if they would choose this set. But it's very rare that they do that, especially for non-third-party licensed sets, so I wouldn't count on that. The only retired piece used in the project is the Kanoe Hau, but that isn't integral to the build, I'd say, so I think the Kini Nui structure itself could definitely be made as a set nowadays. I wanted to pick this set as an example for an architecture or landscape-based set, because we haven't really seen a lot of Bionicle projects try to do something like that, and I think it's a really good concept for Bionicle models. Our final model for today is called Bionicle 6 Heroes 1 Destiny by Kuroodium. It's the newest project of the ones I've shown today, and it has currently above 450 supporters. What's unique about this one is that it has a full team of 6 brick-built Toa Mata. The build reminds me a lot of the LEGO Marvel superhero mechs, which I think is great, because there's already a precedent for sets like this existing. As I said earlier, by working at this scale, it's very hard to get the masks for the Toa right, but I think they did a pretty good job by using some very clever building techniques combined with printing to make all the Toa very recognizable. What's really impressive to me is that all the figures also have working gear functions, which I think is awesome. As a fun bonus, they also added a cute tiny Makuta, and in an update they built the Toa Kaida. According to the description, the creator put a lot of thought into the affordability and the usage of more common parts for these, which I think is a great idea for a LEGO Ideas set. They just look like they would be a lot of fun as little playsets, and I think it's cool that we get a whole team in one project. The gear function and the possibility to build the Toa Kaida are just some really great additions for Bionicle fans. I think this is a really cool project that leans more on the side of a playset than a display piece, and it's really cool to see something like that on ideas as well. Alright, these are the 5 projects I wanted to showcase today. I think they're all great examples of what modern Bionicle sets could look like with LEGO ideas, and you could support all of them right now. The links are of course in the description. There's no direct competition between these, you can support whichever one you like or just all of them. And I hope I could help get some more eyes on these projects. That's all from me today. Thank you all so much for watching and see you soon for more here on the TTV channel.